You know, I don't think anything in the world. We have a lot of controversy, but I don't think anything in the world can rival politics. Politics has so much emotional tolls on everyone, no matter what side it is. Blue or red, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. Is because politics seems like a losing game. No matter what side you're on, no matter what you believe in, no matter like certain laws you might stand by, certain morals you might follow, it just feels like a losing game. And I'm gonna get into it. So I wouldn't say, you know, I know politics as much, right? Like I'm not really heavily following into it. I'm probably as knowledgeable as the next person, but no matter where you are or who you are, politics is I feel like is always in your life. And you could always say something about politics no matter what it is, because whether you are aware of what's happening or not, it does affect you. Whether in ignorance or knowledgeable, or if you're knowledgeable, I should say, of it. And um having an opinion on it like can be valid. I think as long as it's something that's not very arrogant, something that you have thought of actually and made a coherent thought on the subject. And that's again what I want to talk about. So it seems like no matter what side you believe in, red or blue, it seems that each side just feels so radical now, and like it really is a us versus them mentality. It feels like, for starters, when you pick one side, you are ultimately hated by the other. You pick one side, and now you can no longer believe in this, and this. And if you pick the other, same thing, vice versa. And you then start to get weaponized. Like there's words that get weaponized and that are used against you. So if you are on red, there's certain words that they use for people that vote red. If there's certain people that are on like blue, there's certain words for them, you know? And it seems like as time goes on, people just learn to treat them more as the enemy instead of a person with opposing views. And now they're no longer somebody that is it's just, like, oh, I disagree. It's, I hate you. And there's friendships that are lost over it. There's relationships lost over it. Maybe children not speaking to their parents. And it's insane how politics moves us. Something could happen, anything in the news, and now it's political. Everything seems to be having a political agenda. No matter what it is, it's like they want an inkling. No, each party, I mean, wants like an inkling of a story's essence for their agenda. And what makes all this even worse is that no matter what you believe in, you're gonna be seen as the enemy. You're gonna be seen as a bad guy, or you're gonna be seen as you're on the wrong side, or you're crazy, or a freak, or a bad person. There's nothing good that comes from it. It seems like, and whether if you were to get hurt, die, whatever, they could see you as easily as just, oh well, too bad. And it's sad to say that there's so much division between these two parties. And I guess I am talking about the extremes, but in reality, I do think it's true. When you say, "Oh, I'm red" or "I'm blue," and you talk to someone that's the opposite, there's already these echo chambers that are in someone's brain. They already have opinions of you. Like if you're blue, it's like, oh, so you're a snowflake, and it's like red, oh, you're like a neo-Nazi. It's like it's just crazy. No matter what side it is, and each side does have their flaws, and politics is not perfect, and it seems like there's no compromise at all. And another point I wanted to get on is it feels like there's no such thing as being independent anymore. Where you just like on your own. You're alone. You don't have a party you represent. Just maybe some ideas from each side, because I think that's even worse than picking a party, because now now both parties hate you. It's a bell curve. It's like the only thing they do agree on is hating you now because you decided to play it safe. Like it's either that you're not taking initiative to fight against this, or you're playing it safe and you don't want to join a side. You don't want to be looked at as something like, and they all come at you now, or you're a sympathizer, and it's almost like it makes it worse. So I do not blame people that don't want to get into politics or follow up on it, because now you see anything on the news, it'll be like, oh, the red did this, oh, the blue did this, and it's so crazy. I don't think we'd ever have a civil war again, but I do think these political parties are so against each other. Like if it happened, we're seeing the buildup is what I'm saying. Like I don't know if it ever happened because it's our world's way too weaponized. We destroy our own country most likely. So I think I was just talking on my ass, but it would be crazy to see. Um, but even like wars across the country, we can't agree on. We can't agree on what's happening in this country. We can't agree on whether it's okay to hate or love this country. We can't agree on even the foods we have. We can't agree on anything. It feels like, and politics is a major part of that. And so I also think too that politics makes our life unnecessarily stressful. We think about what's happening in the news, and it's like, oh man, this party did this party did that, and we see people on the opposite end of whatever your beliefs are, and it'll enrage you, it'll make you sad, it'll make you frustrated, it'll make you like, why are they thinking like that? And it doesn't help that the internet fuels these feelings, because controversy wins, and when people are looking at this stuff, they build this hate, they build their feelings up. It reassesses what they've been feeling, it refines them, reinforces. So now they're going to continue to grow this hate for you, this disdain for you, this dislike, and it's all just going to build up. So when a confrontation does happen, all the buildup is just going to lash out on them. And then you see again the news, everyone's just looking, and you look in the comments, you see it's just people just going back and forth. Seems like no one can agree on anything. And politics definitely runs a lot of people's lives. It runs a lot of what they think, and we have to learn to agree on something. I just think that the political parties that we have, I don't think anyone could ever agree. Let's just be honest. Like there's people that are in these parties, but then there's these people that believe in this and this on these part. Like it's like a tree and a branch. Like it just keeps spreading off and spreading off. So no one would ever really agree on anything. But it does suck that they are so divided. You know. But I want to talk into that. I do think politics is a losing game. I think it just feels like no matter what you do, it just makes your life stressful. You lose friends. You lose relationships of all kind. You are constantly having to fight on Twitter, and Instagram. I don't do that, but I see it all the time. I see comments all the time. People going back and forth fighting about stuff. Taking 30 seconds to a minute of their day to talk about something they were talking about on the post to some random person. People stress themselves out with what happens, what's going on, how the world should be, thinking. And then of course, whatever party they go on, they think they're the elite, like party, like a an elitist thinking in terms of their own party, and it just sucks. Again, I'm not a crazy like political follower on stuff and whatnot. I'm just talking as someone that's just like a regular person observing. I'm not in a particular party. I'm not advocating for any particular party, but I just see from like the outside looking in, like everyone like that thinks about something, thinks about the ideas that they have or whatever party they've shifted towards. Because at the end of the day, people are gonna think what they think, and for the reasons that they do. I'm not saying whatever is right, whatever is wrong. I think both parties obviously do have faults, because everyone has faults. That's an obvious. That's a given. But it does suck that you cannot have a coherent conversation. Like one side cannot have a coherent conversation with another, And I think that's what sucks. There's never an equal ground. There's weaponized words used against them. They throw these little petty arguments because they already have these preconceived notions and echo chambers on whatever the person is thinking on each side. And instead of trying to understand, what is being said, they want to be like, yeah, but you're wrong. But yeah, but you're wrong. And it doesn't end. It doesn't stop. They don't try to level with them. They just try to go over them. And that's the issue, and that's why politics can suck. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys agree with me that politics is a losing game. If not, then I would just like to know, and maybe you could give my thoughts on it. Again, I'm not saying I'm in a party. I'm not in any type of affiliated party. I'm not trying to put no agenda or anything. Just a regular, U.S. citizen talking about politics, like just on a regular level. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and found it like maybe relatable, and I'll see you in the next one. So